Welcome to PTG TV. This is your host, Antonio Hicks, aka Escaping the Matrix. In another episode of Real Talking Conversation, I welcome back my special guest, Miss Tera Chantelle, in the series, a 5-part series discussing navigating moral values in today's economy. And if you have not listened to last week's episode, please go back and take a listen so you aren't missing out on this week's discussion as we dive deeper into Tera's books and how she made her life choice and the things that she's doing right now. So welcome back, Tera.
So much for having me.
So what's new with you? I mean, it's only been a week, but yeah, what's new with you?
What's new with me? So I really do take one day at a time, and today has just been an incredible day. I went to the gym, got my mind right, got my body right. Now I get to do what I love. So
You had just a chill Friday.
I love chill Fridays.
Yeah,
like
I needed a chill Friday. I needed chill Friday. It wasn't one of those chill Fridays for me.
Really?
No, because I mean, I took off from my regular 9 to 5 today, but we were did some recording here at ATC College. So shout out to ATC College because it's the campus that we are filming in right now, and we were recording their episodes today. So if you're not following them, follow Atlanta Technical College so you can listen to their podcast and listen to what they're doing in the community. And this season, we're on season 3, and season 3 is a student takeover. So you're hearing the day in life of what students what they're doing at the college, some of the things they want to do once they come out of here, and some of the professors that's actually helping guide them along their way as they made a decision to come to Atlanta Technical College. So the podcast is Atlanta Tech Talks, so it's on all podcast streaming platforms. So stay tuned and listen, and I'm going to shout them out because it's of the work of Dr. Seals, Dr. Victoria Seals, the president of Atlanta Technical College, that is happening. And I think what they do here in the community is a great thing. So I will shout her out and the school out any day, every day, because of what they do to uplift the community and the jobs and the skills they bring to the people in the community to help them live their natural lives. So yes, back to the podcast. So, yes. That's an ad. I can run for damn film. That's an ad.
Gotta throw the alley oop in there though.
Yeah, this is my people's, man. This is my place, and I love Dr. Susan, what she's done here. I love Dr. Dorn, not yet, the VP Dorner Wardenland, who's the one that's navigating and pushing the podcast. So now they do good stuff for people around here. So yeah.
Real recognize real.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
recognize real.
What are the most important moral values that should give individuals and businesses? Like what should they have in today's economy, in your opinion?
So I really believe the structure, the solid foundation we all must have is self-respect. Mm-hmm. If you value yourself, honor yourself, that just trickles down to how you treat yourself. Ultimately, how you love yourself. You teach people how to treat you based on how you treat yourself. Right. So if you are selling yourself so short or so cheap because of the lack of self-respect that you have, then that's how people going to come at you.
And that's how, do you think that will help people out in corporate America, like as a guide?
Yes, because then you can start negotiating your salary better, how much you feel like you should be treated, or you can delegate tasks differently. If someone says, hey, can you do this for me? Actually, that's not in my job description. You know how to communicate better because you respect your time.
Right.
Your skill set, and you can now stand up for yourself. Nobody is going to advocate for you but you, or speak up for you.
I agree with that, because that is the weirdest thing if you think about when it comes to corporate life. People know they're deserving of more, but they're scared to ask for more.
Nobody's going to speak up for us but us.
Right.
So we are playing timid or playing nice, just thankful for the opportunity to work for another company, but you are an asset. Mm-hmm. They need you just like you need them. They honestly probably need you more, right, if you really realize that, but you don't know your worth. You don't know that because you don't respect yourself or your time.
Yeah, because we have this idea that, and it does stand true a little bit, that everybody's easily replaced, because we are easily replaced. But your skills aren't easily replaced, because if you think about it, if you've been working in that job for so long, you know everything about that company. You know what it takes to get that task done, and then you know the most efficient way of getting it done. So if they let you go, just imagine what it would mean to replace you. And it's not easy. Now, yes, I mean they can do that, but it's not advantageous for them to go ahead and do that because we've seen it happen with Twitter. You know, hashtag Twitter. What happened with them when dude came in and laid everybody off, and he realized, oh crap, I made a huge mistake. I don't know if you know about Elon Musk and what he did.
What do you
He
do?
literally laid off like all of his engineering team. Like he laid off the HR people, and he realized, oh, I need HR to hire some folks. Yeah, he laid off almost. He did. It was half the company, and then he
Like, bye
realized, that,
bye.
yeah, but he wasn't. He didn't do it by way of knowing people's skill sets. So certain things he needed done for like the app itself and for the website, he didn't have anybody to do it because he had let them go. And then he shot himself in the foot because then he would reach back out to those individuals and say, hey, you know, we'd love to have you back because we need you. And it was like, hell no, ain't nobody coming back there. It's like, you laid me off without, you know, we had no performance evaluations. You just arbitrarily just laid us off because you just want to lay off a certain number of people.
They will replace you just like that. And
Yeah.
we out here breaking our back for these companies for what? When we are replaceable.
Right.
But then they realize after the fact, okay, you are a rare breed. They only realize like your quality or your essence or what you truly add to any situation like once you're gone. It's sad that people have to like leave people's lives or transition up out of here to realize the value you had on this planet.
Now we're talking about moral values. How do you feel about quiet quitting? Do you know
Why?
about quiet quitting?
No, what is that?
So it's when you've been taken advantage of on your job. They aren't giving you any increase when it comes to pay. They aren't giving you any perks. Like they start taking away perks from in companies like the coffee stations or added vacations and stuff. So people start quiet quitting. And quiet quitting, for those that don't know what quiet, I'm sure it's been all over the news. But if you don't know what quiet quitting is, I'm coming in to do exactly what I get paid to do, and when I'm done, I'm out.
Absolutely.
You can't contact me for anything. I'm not doing anything extra. All the other stuff that I would do that you wouldn't ask me about, I ain't doing that no more. You can't hit me on no off hours. No, I'm show up at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock whenever your shift or wherever your schedule is, and then I'm going at 5.
That is boundaries. That is boundaries. You have to have that standard for your life. Like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't even know what you're willing to do or what you're not willing to do, you're a doormat.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to ask you to do everything. You're going to just be jumping up and down performing to succeed for this company. And you are draining yourself.
Right. And I tell people to do that. Because, I mean, you really, for them to know your worth, stop doing the extra stuff that you're doing and see how they respond to it. Because you'll find out real quick, because I found out in my own job, you'll find out real quick what people's skill sets are, because the person they hold to be the greatest person ain't all that great. And like I said, I see it in my own work experience.
If you overdoing it, overworking yourself, and they underpaying you, do your job description. Do your job description.
Be out. Be out. Because I had a situation come up to where I had a sinus infection like 2 weeks ago, and I don't typically get sinus infections. This is like the second time I've ever had one, and it wasn't as bad as the first time. But I was out for I took 2 days off. In them 2 days, my coworker still was calling me, and as stupid me, I answered. That first time I didn't answer the phone. I was texting back until I finally got frustrated. I was like, dude, I'm drugged up.
I
I'm
can't even breathe.
and coughing and stuff. I'm like, I'm about to lay down.
Barely breathe.
Yeah, figure it out. I was like, if you can't figure it out, call somebody else to figure it out.
Google it.
Yeah.
Why are you not Googling it?
Because she about to hit on a nerve. Because I don't understand that when it comes to like people. And like this does tie into like this. I can't even say this is going off topic because it does tie into knowing your value, your true value. Because we did talk about that on the last episode, and knowing and understanding your space and loving yourself. So this does play in a part of truly loving yourself. Because and I said before, I'm still learning it because I still operate from the old school of to where I feel as though if I don't do something, my job is on the line. But that's just growing up in corporate life, and you weren't worried about stuff because of my skin tone. And no, I'm not team. Yeah, I'm team high yellow, but yeah, they don't. Team high yellow is still black. It's still black. Like it's still.
No.
So no, and I still because I should have said no, and that's like you said, knowing your boundaries. When he texted me the first time, I should have just ignored it.
Yeah.
and just blocked it until
Yeah.
I was ready to come back to work.
Exactly. I
But I
don't see
didn't.
this.
And I'm like, then the second day came around, and I was still sick, and I was just like, okay, I ain't gonna call out because I can do some work from home. I ain't gonna call out. I'm like, because I'm working from home anyway. So I'm like, I'll run some tests or whatever, but I'm gonna be chilling at the house. This man, yeah, I'm gonna say I ain't gonna call his name out. I ain't gonna call his name. I ain't gonna say y'all don't even know where I work at. Well, if you go back and listen to other episodes, you know where I work at. But y'all newbies, you don't know where I work at. He couldn't figure out how to. So those who know me, I work in IT. Get into a server. Simplest thing in the world. It ain't if it's your first time around doing it, but it's still something that, like you just said, you can Google it. Didn't want to do it. Then they couldn't do it. Literally couldn't. They couldn't figure it out. All morning had me on a conference call. I'm sick.
I can barely
Yeah, I'm
breathe.
sick. I got sinus infection. Y'all, if you ain't never had a sinus infection before, sinus infection is like having the flu times 10. It sucks.
You need to rest. That's your body telling
Yeah.
you to rest, disconnect, recharge.
Do y'all know? I got so frustrated. I got pissed off. I got up and I drove in there.
Oh no, you
I
didn't.
drove in to do something that literally only takes under 2 minutes to do.
No, you did not.
I drove in because I was so pissed off because they was begging me not to come. And I was like, if you cared about me being sick, you wouldn't have me sitting on this call. So I'm like, if I got to sit on the call, then I might as well just come in and just do it. Literally drove in. Took me, I could live an hour and 15 minutes away from my job.
Oh, you are petty.
I drove in, hour 15 minutes. I walked in, set my computer down, plugged in, ran some commands, and I was in it under a minute.
You are not. Did you leave after that?
No, I hung around for a little bit. Because he come around the corner, he was like, how you do it? The same way I told you how to do it.
Oh my goodness.
The same way I told you how to do it. People don't but that's again, it goes back to you knowing your worth. Because had I really valued myself, I would have just shut it down and be like, yo man, figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling well. I'm working, but I'm not feeling well. And I'm not about to be sitting on a conference call all day long trying to troubleshoot something because you can't figure it out. Just Google it.
Not parent these folks.
No.
Most people want to get babied
Yeah.
and coddled. I don't have the energy.
But they won't give you that same respect though.
Absolutely not.
So if you
Why
try to
would
do
they?
the same thing to them of what they're doing to you, they have issue with that.
They're gonna call you crazy,
Mhm.
the bad guy, the villain. You're gonna be the villain in their story. Sure is.
So in that same token though, how can individuals and businesses, in your opinion, balance their economic goals with their moral responsibilities?
Ooh. So balance is like a foundation. Maybe it's because I'm a Libra out here, but I think balance is like a key component in life. Rather you balancing your social life, your spiritual life, your family and your friends' life, business. We have to be well versed out here, well rounded, actually have different options to see this world in a different lens. So balancing your spiritual morals and your business, I feel like it's not selling your soul. You
Right.
can't do things that make you feel like you are degrading yourself, you are embarrassing yourself, or you're doing it for money, or you're just doing it to pay some bills and you know you shouldn't do it. Like our intuition tells us like this is not a good idea. This is definitely gonna tarnish your reputation if you do this, or make your brand look bad, give you bad ratings on your business. But all money is not good money, and you're just willing to do that.
So I'm thinking about one episode. Y'all need to go back to my podcast. Do you have a price? Like everybody has a price. So I did an episode on what are you willing to risk it all for? So do you have a price of what you're willing to risk it all for?
I cannot be bought out here. That's what I realized. I feel
Not $2 million?
not too many
$2 million.
to do what?
I don't know. Whatever it is to risk it all. I mean, what do you have a price?
No,
I have a price.
You have a price?
I have a price.
I think we all have to exploit ourselves in some way in capitalism. So yeah, it's either
My price is $10 million.
10 million.
My price is $10 million.
10 million. And what you gonna do with that 10 million?
Whatever. My price is $10
You
million.
don't even know what you're gonna do.
So we had this thing in my old, and we talked about it on my job. I mean, even my friends and stuff too. So it's like, as a man, what are you willing to give up sexually as a man for a price. So my price is $10 million. So I'm not gonna go into details. I'm sure y'all know what the details are. What are you willing to give up for $10 million? And so I was like, you got $10 million. You can do whatever you want for a whole night. You do whatever you want for a whole night.
For a whole night.
A whole night, you do whatever you want. And it was like, cause most guys, you know, everybody's always like, oh, you know, I'm not. What is it? That's gay, or you know, and true enough, that is an act of it. But I'm like, at the end of the day, it might be, but I got $10 million in my pocket. I can see a therapist.
If I am traumatized,
I can make that 10 million grow. I can
make it peaceful.
I've been through enough stuff in my life that I ain't get paid for. I take that L for that. I take that L for 10 million. I done been homeless. I done lost a kid. I done had so much trauma in my own life. I didn't get no money for it. You give me 10.
I'll make it worth it.
Yeah, that'll be worth it. That'll be worth it.
Yo, the fact that people put like labels on sexuality is like beyond me though.
Like, you see the new thing now, they're talking about, what was it? Jonathan Majors and I'm about to say Chadwick, God, but you know, R.I.P. Chadwick. Michael B. You didn't see them like when they, you know, so the picture was promoted in Creed 3.
Yeah.
And they had them like face to face, like taking pictures together.
Yeah.
Or they were smiling one. They was like, that's gay. Yeah, our community, yeah, something about that's gay.
I'm like, are people okay? Like, are we okay with our own sexuality here? Because us projecting what other people do in the bedroom is none of our concern or none of our business.
But why is it that two men can't take a picture together without you saying that they're just being gay? Like, why is that even an issue?
It's so toxic. That's why men feel like they can't even cry or
smile. Yeah, that came up too. So a lot of guys in the comment section, like this Reddit feed I was going, y'all need to read Reddit. Reddit is entertaining, but of a Reddit feed, there was like, I don't even smile. Like who? Like, you know, I ain't trying to be soft. I was like, you can't smile. Like, why is it an issue to smile?
Life is that hard?
Yeah.
You gotta be that hard, that persona.
You can't smile in a picture?
You can't even smile in a picture. Black man, smile today. You gotta smile at yourself.
Yeah.
And then you expect people to be your peace when you ain't even your own peace of mind. And you ain't even out here smiling just because the sun's out.
And some of y'all got good teeth. Y'all need to smile.
You should
Y'all ain't got the struggle like me. I got the coffee stains. And I'm trying to figure out how the hell I can. You know, technology, this is a sidebar. We need to figure out how we can keep people's teeth pearly white no matter what you drink.
But our teeth naturally, like going back to the good old days, like
they're not naturally white.
Yeah, exactly. Like healthy teeth, is not naturally white. We out here want veneers and I
never do that. You will never catch me shaving my teeth down to put some false teeth in. Only time you'll see me doing that is if I'm like old and my stuff, I don't know why my stuff would fall out because I try to take care of my teeth, but my stuff is falling out.
Yeah, so people are out here shaving their teeth down.
Glorilla. So you don't know about Glorilla? Yeah, man, we need to get Tera.
Give me
keep up with celebrity stuff. I'll keep up with other stuff. But I noticed it about her though. When she first came out, she was wearing braces. So all of a sudden she went from wearing braces to now her teeth was like perfectly straight and stuff. And I just started looking at her. I was like, I ain't no way in here. I was like, nah, ain't no way. Because I had braces before. I was like, ain't no way you went from braces to like straight pearly white teeth. So come to find out she got veneers.
She got them done twice. I did. Yeah. I did hear her say on the interview, she said the first set was too big. Like, so you just like, we do too much these days with social media.
You got your natural teeth that was perfectly fine. They had some space in them, which is why you had braces.
Right.
But to speed up the process, because now you have this image about yourself that you want to maintain. Now you want to get veneers because you worried about what the last episode. You worried about what other people gonna think about you.
Yes. Yo, she's promoting Lil Booties Matter. I hope she stays with the Lil Booties team because if she let people get in her ear talking about she need a BBL,
but nobody's gonna BBLs no more.
I hope not.
No, they're removing them.
Good.
Because what's her name? The Kardashians, they removed all theirs. Black China removed all of her implants.
Good.
Like, they removed all of it. Black China is beautiful now. She looks the way she used to look. Because she removed everything. So everybody's, and I'm like, y'all need fads. Because I'm like, to me, that's a dangerous fad that you're going to make all these modifications to your body because of what you think other people want to see. And it's so, I mean, yeah, it's going to help you sell. But I'm like,
sell your body, sell yourself, sell your soul.
But I guess that's one thing. What are you willing to risk it all for? I guess that was what they were willing to risk it all for.
Risk your whole life to get your booty done just so you can sit on.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. You are sitting on this booty. And you're willing to risk your life on the line.
I ain't gonna lie though, Black China got paid.
Oh,
From
absolutely.
she started the OnlyFans page up. She made more money from her OnlyFans than she did through her career. Whatever I don't know what she was doing prior to that.
Wow.
But she started the OnlyFans, and I think she broke it the same way. What's her name? What is it? Meet You Outside chick. She did.
Sex sells.
It does, and that's why I don't discourage nobody out here. Yes, I'm a Christian. For y'all, like I'm a Christian person. But my whole thing is, like Tara says, we're a capitalist society. As much as I want to see us move away from that, I don't think we'll ever get to a utopian place to where we won't have any form of trade or values when it comes to things. So as it stands now, in the world that we live in, I'm like, why not capitalize off what you got?
Oh, yes.
And if you're already putting yourself out there in videos and stuff, or being a video vixen or whatever, I'm like, if you can make your stuff from the house and you can upload it to a website and you already popular and you can get rich off of it, get that money. Go get that bag.
Get the bag, sis. And I just understand we should just be aware. Because if women know that they are prostituting themselves, now you can do it with self-respect, maybe. Yeah. Now you can be aware of what you're doing. You understand. Yes, now you got the power. But you giving your power away just for some money, not realizing what you're doing in this whole transactional relationship, then you play yourself. You're energetically cheating on yourself.
Oh, that's a good one. So what are I guess it goes kind of tying what we're talking about now. What are the ethical implications of pursuing profit in the global economy, particularly with respect to exploitation of labor or environmental degradation?
Good one.
What are the ethical implications of pursuing profit in the global economy, particularly with respect to exploitation of labor or environmental degradation? So degradation, but yeah, I'm like, that goes back into what we were talking about a minute ago, like knowing yourself and not allowing people to exploit you in your labor or your skill sets for their own personal benefit.
Their personal gain. I love the quote that I probably made up. It's like, it's a difference between being useful and being used. And if you know you are being useful to society, your business, your company, now you do have those certain boundaries and standards in place. But if you're just letting people use you because you just want to be picked so bad, then now honestly you are cheating yourself because you're letting people get over on you. Because sometimes we want our internal voids to be filled. So we really just want to be accepted. We want to be seen. We want to be heard. We want to be loved so bad. So we're willing to do anything for that. But if we are secure within ourselves, now we can walk away from things that don't serve us.
And then when it comes to like the environmental degradation, I do think we need to go back and stop putting our values over profit itself. And the reason I say that is because we had the instance to where I think we need more farmers out there as opposed to us. And that's the capitalism in society, to where they get one farmer they'd like to work with, and because they're friends with people that's in office or whatever, they start pushing all the contracts that way, and it ultimately end up being like the Walmarts where you drown out the mom and pop. But that's because the individual is putting more value into them want to earn all the money and hog it for themselves, as opposed to letting it spread out amongst other people. And I say it because we had an incident that happened in Texas the other day. I don't know if you saw about it. To where one of the largest dairy farmers out there, the plant exploded and killed over 18,000 cattle. Like 18,000 cattle were decimated in under 24 hours.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Poor animals. Like this world is crumbling. We're not even respecting and caring about Mother Earth and the animals. Mm-hmm. That's a sign. That's dangerous, and nobody's talking about this.
No, I didn't see it as much. I mean, because I saw it on my feed, and I was like, what? Because it was somebody's explosion. But I was like, okay, bumped the explosion. I was like, it's a dairy farm, so you got to look at the economic impact when it comes to that, too. It's like you lost 18,000 cattle, so what did it mean for milk? What it means, like, once they got done using the cows for milk, it was coming out now for meat. So I'm like, is the cost of those things gonna start to go up?
Here we go again.
Yeah. And I get that because I'm a capitalist. I'm a capitalist. I believe in capitalism to a degree. I think that if you get to a certain level, I think if you start a business, you should be allowed to get rich off that business, but never at the expense of your employees. Like I will never get to a place to where in my business, I got $10 million for myself, but the lowest person on my totem pole is only making about 30,000-40,000 a year.
So what's the difference between capitalism and socialism?
So socialism is you don't have that it's almost like a what is it called? A bartering type thing. A bartering when it comes to businesses.
I like that.
So you have something I need, I have something you need, and that's how the exchange is taking place.
Wow.
So it's not to the point to where I have all the resources and then I drown you out from it. So a capitalist society so you can look at the Walmarts, you can look at the Amazons, to where they've gotten so huge, and because they've gotten so big, small businesses can't survive and or compete with them.
Absolutely.
Because they don't have enough inventory to even try to do the sales and stuff that they're able to do. And so you end up having to close your business down because they come in and they flood you out.
Yikes.
So I am for socialism. I am for socialism. I'm for it. I mean, I like capitalism, but I still like socialism too. Because in social societies, you got to think about your economic reform when it comes to healthcare. So because we all have access to healthcare. We all have access to education. And it's not something that's coming from the people, it's coming from the actual government itself. So the government is helping taking care of it. Because we can look at socialism, like people praise Israel. People don't like socialism, but they don't say anything bad about Israel. Israel does that.
Really, they do?
Like if you were and we're not gonna get into that topic, but if you're a Jewish person and you come from, you're from Israel, yes, they help take care of childcare. You don't have high medical expenses because they help take care of that too. And then when the child is born, they help the parents take healthcare, not healthcare for the child, but after school programs. They give them money for like daycare and stuff like that. So but people don't talk about people because you can't say anything bad about Israel. You can't say anything because you're gonna be called picture anti-Semite, so you can't say nothing bad about Israel at all.
Any other countries do that?
Yeah, you have Sweden. They do it. Finland does it. Germany has good economic stuff they offer to their citizens. UK do it. Yeah, overseas they actually provide quality healthcare. And then when you talk about they call it universities. We're the same over here, but we call it colleges. They help pay for so they don't have high tuition bills. Like so a lot of people don't know about this. So a lot of people used to go to the Philippines because they had cheap education. Like their colleges, so they had the same quality education that we have over here, but college was dirt cheap. So I knew people that was going to the Philippines to get like their master's degrees or doctorate degrees, and they was only paying like $200 or $300. Whereas over here,
on top of fees,
and I got debt. My student loan debt is going to the grave with me. I am not paying it off. I am not.
The ride or die relationship over here. We riding this thing out.
I am not paying it off. Shout out to student debt relief programs that y'all doing out there. I'm glad y'all keep pushing it out because I am not paying it off.
Yes, that is just
college shouldn't cost them much. Again, why I love ATC, college should not cost them much because they actually have money coming from the government. So the most you might pay coming through here and going through one of the programs like $1,000, $2,000. But you come out with a job paying $70,000 to $80,000.
That is incredible. So they be setting people up though. If you're already in debt, so now you have to stay on this hamster wheel.
And then certain programs don't pay what it would take to even pay those back. So like even getting the education system to move up, you got to have like a master's degree. So now you're in debt up to, we went totally left because we'll be talking about more about it. But to a master's degree, you're gonna be in debt for about $80,000, $90,000. But the most that you're gonna get paid in the education system with a master's degree is about 50, 60.
Oh no!
Unless you start really, and it take a lot. I mean, you ain't moving up quick, so it take a long time to actually start moving up and start getting higher pay. But then if you still stay in public education, you still not getting a lot of money. Like you have, no, I'm not even gonna do them dirty here. But you have professors in community colleges. You got to have a master's degree to be a professor. They're only making about $70,000, if even $70,000 a year. So how you gonna pay all that back and have a mortgage and raise a family, and then try to invest in your 401k so you can retire and have some money, or so you're not trying to rely on Social Security because you're trying to get rid of Social Security.
The math ain't mathing, y'all.
Nah.
The math ain't
The
mathing.
system is meant to hold you back.
Absolutely.
Realistically, the system is meant to hold you back.
Absolutely. And they're making it more smarter just to stay on a solo pathway. Like if you just got yourself, now you have less bills, less money, and now we can maybe get back to somewhat of a social exchange like we did barter. But yeah, until people realize that, oh, it's cheaper.
So to go in deeper about social media, how do you think social media and technology impacts like people's ethical decisions and then making decisions in this economy?
Social media has such an influence on our culture today. It is really monkey see, monkey do. If you are not strong minded, you are going to fold quickly. Because if your mindset is weak, you are going to want to follow these trends, these topics, these challenges that can possibly kill yourself. Yeah. It is certain things that is just setting you up to distract yourself from the true mission, is getting to know yourself, knowing your morals, knowing your values, knowing your standards. But if you don't even got that in line, now you are going to be mindlessly scrolling on this social media platform, looking at what everybody else is doing. Now you comparing yourself. Now you depressed. And now you in bed.
Right. Because, because we were talking about BBLs and stuff. Like, you got body shaming going on now. And people look at how everybody look online, and they were like, oh, I want to aspire to be there. And it take a lot of work. Like, it take a lot of work to stay in some type of shape. And then you got those, what do they call them? What do they call the fitness people online? But anyway, you would have said?
No, what is it?
No, I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm getting old. I don't remember off the top of my head. But you have those media personalities out there, the social media personalities, it's like the fitness people.
Yeah.
And folks want to look like them. And I'm just like, to me, that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
I'm like, unless you actually are a personal trainer or you work in the fitness industry to where you can do that on a full-time basis, I'm like, long as you stay in shape, I think you good. Nah, it'd be nice to have like those six-pack. Like you look at Creed 3. I love Creed 3. I used to be box, so I love Creed 3. But you look at like Michael B. and Jonathan Majors, they look good.
Yeah.
I would love
back swole.
Yeah, I would love
like that back. That back though. Yeah. I said, oh my goodness. Yeah, I would love to look like
that. And I used to look like that when I boxed, but yeah, I would look at this age now, I would love to look like that. But then you gotta look at the movie, all the work it takes to do that.
Oh yeah.
When I fought, I was in ballets for 2 hours. And then I was in my boxing class for like 2.5 hours. I ain't really had no life. I was my box because I was a true introvert then. I was in my boxing class. So you're talking about 4 hours of my day was spent working out.
Oh yeah, your body's destined to get sculpted.
So when you get older and then you have a family that you're trying to see, not even a family, like just when you get older, you just got life. That's unrealistic to be in the gym all the time.
Really? See, I feel like people fear getting old, and they really think like you lose it. You know.
No, not that. I'm just saying like with the amount of time that you can spend in the gym.
Okay.
Like you can't spend. You can, but it's like okay, well, that's
an hour.
Really our lifestyle. You can spend an hour to an hour and a half.
Yes.
But not 2 and 3 hours. And then you really got to start looking at, to get cut up like that. You got to start looking at what you eat and your weight. I'm about living life.
Yes.
I really am about, and I care about my health. Like I do not want to be walking around here because I had a body shame incident earlier week. I don't even saw my post on that. This lady in my office, so I got injured. Like I can't run like I used to because I hurt my foot. And I'm trying to, and it takes forever to heal up. So I've been trying to do something different when it comes to working out. So I've been doing more Pilates and more strength training. Like even doing a HIIT workout hurts because I think I have tendonitis in my foot. Which if y'all know what tendonitis is, tendonitis runs to you can get it in your hands and stuff, but it's the nerves. And for me, I ran on my foot when it was hurting. So now I have like the nerves in the heel of my foot like hurt bad as hell. So if I do any form of running, jogging, fast-paced walking until it heals up, it's hurting. Like I did a HIIT workout yesterday, and like I got up this morning and my foot was like throbbing. So I say that to say
down.
Right. So I say that to say I buck up real quick. So I changed what I was doing from doing a ton of cardio stuff because if you do, y'all don't understand body chemistry. If you do a lot of cardio, it cuts down on muscle mass. So you start getting this lean build about yourself. If you do a lot of muscle, if you do a lot of weight, strength training, and then you like eating a ton of protein and stuff, then you bulk up. I start bulking up. I bulk up. I am bulking up. You can't say I am bulking up. And then I was doing Pilates. So I'm starting to slim down when it comes to like my stomach, but then my arms and everything else starting to get big. This should get work. Don't y'all ever do this. Like, I'm not even cool with anybody in my job like this.
Yeah.
So my first coworker, he walks up to me, because I didn't call him out on it. He walks up to me 2 weeks ago, and he was like, I had a big sweatshirt on because I work in a data center. So in a data center, we have it's a ton of servers. So it's cold air. It's like it's a freezer. So you got to come in with a jacket on or sweatshirt or whatever. So I had a bulky sweatshirt on, and he walked up to me. He was like, "Man, you gained some weight. Like you getting big now." I have this thing about me. I will never get to a place to where, and I'm not body shaming anybody. This is how I feel about my body, because I have pains from stuff. I told you I used to fight from where I used to fight, and then I have got pinched nerve in my spine, so I have to become somewhat of a gym. Well, I am a gym rat, so I got to always keep my body in some form of shape. But I don't think I won't ever get to a place to where I can't look down and see my junk. That's my measurement tool.
That's amazing.
That is my measurement tool.
No,
so
seriously. That's
if I get down to where my stomach is hanging over, and I'm not body shaming, this is just me. I got to keep emphasizing that, because if that's who you are, that's who you are. I'm not, I love yourself for who you are. But for me and my measurement tool,
love yourself.
If I get my stomach or whatever starts getting over to my build, that's when I'm like, okay, I really got to start changing something up.
That's the standard you got for yourself.
So he saw me with a big sweatshirt on, and he was like, "You gaining some weight because you looking." I'm sitting there like, first of all, you got a dad bod yourself. I was like, you can't even look down and see your own junk. So what are you even asking me? I was like, so I pulled my shirt back. I was like, no. I was like, my stomach, I ain't ripped up, but my stomach is flat. So I was like,
wow.
I was like,
okay.
Nah,
okay.
So then the woman, she came up last week. Now, this is where I drew the line. When a dude do it, it's one thing. I can snap at you and I can joke at you, and you're going to understand. I ain't pulling my punches. But then when a woman do it, now y'all know a man can never walk up to a woman. She did it in the midst of me. It was like 5 of my coworkers. We were talking about something we was working on. And she just walked up because we hadn't seen each other in like some months because we all work from home. And she, in the middle of the whole conversation, she was like, "Did you gain some weight?" And I'm sitting here like, what do you, I say, what?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So I was like, I said, no, I've actually lost some weight. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, I might be getting bulky a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I've actually lost some weight. I was like, my stomach and everything is flat now. I was like.
So they asked you, did you gain some weight?
Yeah. And this one's my body shaming. And she did this in the midst of the floor in front of everybody. And I'm like, now, how would it be from a man's standpoint if I walked up to her? I'm going to ask you this. How would you feel if you're in office and a man walked up to you and say, like you didn't gain a little weight?
Right. You
gonna lose your goddamn
my
mind.
goodness, you're gonna break my whole ego. Okay. My ego gonna get all hurt and bothered.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Because I'm like, the first thing I said, I was in my post, I'm like, somebody gonna call HR. Because they're gonna feel as though, I didn't offended them.
Yeah, no. You have to be so careful and so sensitive with all these different words. But our bodies are so different. Everybody's body is so unique and so different. And us comparing our body parts to what they doing on society, we going to like pull our hair out because it's not good for us mentally.
No, because everybody's body is different. Like you could be doing the same workout program that you seen the other person doing online, and you're gonna have different results. And you're gonna be losing your mind trying to figure out, okay, why am I not looking like this person? It's because they have whatever routine they're doing is geared for them and their body. You can't do what somebody else is doing.
You cannot duplicate this process, okay? You have to find out what works for you, your own game plan, your own gym plan, your own business plan. Do what works for you, but we trying to look like each other on social media and try to act like each other on social media. It's no originality no more.
No.
Real out here, out the window. It's like everybody's faking, everybody's putting on this front because nobody knows themselves though. So how are you going to try to win at this game of life if you using somebody else's cheat code?
Right. And that's why I don't think that you should use it as a means to measure yourself, or and even though I don't even care if it comes to like work or business. Like it's hard to see what because like one of the things I was talking about too in a previous podcast was if you look at what people are doing online and you see what they have, you don't know the struggle they went through to get to that point. Only thing you're doing is seeing the end result. And I'm like, that's why kind of like on my show when I have people on, I want people to talk about the struggle,
Yes.
not the you didn't make it to the top of the mountain. I want to know about the journey of you getting to the top because that's where the hardship is at. That's how you know if you're doing what you love doing and if it's even worth it. Because doing anything and you're trying to reach a peak, I don't care whatever it is, what success you're trying to achieve in life. I don't care if you're trying to start your own business. I don't care if you want to be a president of a university or you want to be the CEO in a company or even want to start your own company. There's always a starting process, a hardship process before you actually start seeing the gains from stuff that you've invested in the seeds you planted.
Virtue.
Right.
And if you willing to make this a lifestyle for yourself, really commit yourself to the journey, to the process, to bettering yourself. This is for you, honestly. Like this life is for you. It's not for anybody else. And I know we got it all twisted and confused. That's why we giving other people so much of attention. But this attention gotta be on you.
Right.
This focus gotta be on you. So if you learn yourself, I think it just enhances journey. It makes things more smoother. Now when things don't go our way, we can just go with the flow of it instead of like resisting it.
Right. And the other side of it too is like people get when you start going against the grain and actually start showing people the struggle. Some people don't even like that because they only want to see the high points. And I'm like, well, now you're trying to feed your dopamines.
Yeah. Can I keep it real? I'm not good today. How about that? I don't feel like getting out of bed today.
Right.
I don't want to go to work. Let's not fake it. Let's really be human out here.
Right. Especially on LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn, I don't know how often you get on. Well, see, you an independent person. She ain't got to get on LinkedIn like some of the rest of us. You go on LinkedIn, it's always that struggle story of how somebody overcame all these challenges. Like that's the motivational stuff that you see on LinkedIn all the time. I'm like, come on now.
Come on now.
Like, everybody ain't going through like stuff like that. I'm like, come on now. I mean, life is hard.
Life be life in.
And not everybody has the aptitude to overcome those challenges.
Why is that?
I mean, it's that struggle. So if you're going through it, if you don't have, because we talked about last time, if you don't have that thing to motivate you, to pull you out of it, you'll settle into where you at to being unhappy. Like, so me and this one guy we was talking about when it came to like suicidal thoughts, because I had suicidal thoughts. I contemplated checking out of this place many a time.
Oh yeah, I feel you.
But it was like the one thing that kept my mind off of it is thinking about, okay, how would it affect? I'm sad to say, I'm not sad to say, but I am sad to say. It's like it's my boys. Like, how would it affect my boys? Like, how would they react from like their father leaving here, going to on his own will, not against the will, on his own will?
Yeah, that will question a lot of their upbringing and their childhood. That's probably you probably just gonna create a pattern.
Right.
They like, I want to meet you there, Dad.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, I don't want to do something that's gonna make them question what I've been teaching them, and then cause them to think like, well, if he checked out and he was working towards stuff, is it really worth it?
Is this really worth it? And the struggle, the fight. Honestly, I love the song with Lauryn Hill. Nothing really matters. You know, it really doesn't. Even though we want to accomplish all these goals and we want to get all this money and we want to have the perfect relationship, it really doesn't matter if you are not connected with your soul.
Right.
You can have the money, the clothes, all of the glitz and glam. But if you're not okay with yourself, you're still going to be in misery and you're managing misery. I think that's what we're so used to, is just managing misery in relationships and opportunities in life instead of pursuing the happiness, pursuing that inner joy. And the simple things really do bring us the most joy overall. But if you don't know what the simple things does in this life,
And that's the thing too. It's like you see a lot of wealthy people out here, they exiting too. And you could say, oh, well, they had everything going for them, but they might have to you in the physical realm, but internally they never fought those demons and dealt with them, and they were still hurting from it.
A dark place to have to sit in with yourself when you are not comfortable in your own body, in your own mind. You're going to have these intrusive thoughts that's telling you, let's just check out, let's just end it here. Nothing really matters. But you have to make life meaningful for you. You have to make this journey meaningful for you. Nobody's going to give you this life's meaning but you.
Right.
That's the secret to this sauce. You got to know the secret to your own happiness.
Mm-hmm. And if you haven't figured, what you was talking about the pandemic last time, I think everybody needs to wake up every day and do some form of meditation, but either in the morning or in the night, to dive deep into yourself, to set affirmations, to set intentions of what you're trying to get, and then also just to find yourself. Because because you're always changing. Like your desires are always changing. So you still need to do a self-analysis at least once or twice a week. You ain't got to do it I think you should do it every day.
You should. Let's make it a priority, y'all. If we want to really not only heal but grow, because people complacent, like, yeah, I'm healing. Let's grow.
Yeah.
Let's learn. Let's get better.
And meditation works.
Yes.
Like if I'm gonna be honest with y'all, if you haven't tried it, you gotta try. Meditation works, and you gotta make a practice out of it. Now it's not gonna work overnight, but once you really get to a place and you make a practice out of it, it really does work. Like if you go into your meditation and you're trying to set an intention of you trying to have a good day today, and you're trying to manifest certain things within your life, and you're actually working towards those, your day will go a lot better. A lot of people say wake up and work out and do it. I'm not a morning workout person, but I've tried that before, and it still never made my day go any better. But what I have found though, because I used to meditate at night, when I shifted it from night and going into the morning, that sets the mood for the day.
Wow.
So if you wake up and I tell people now, don't wake up and jump straight into work.
Exactly.
Wake up, and then because you've had a long night, hopefully you had some lucid dreams, and you've actually, get up, write your stuff down of what you want to see done for the day, and then take 15 minutes to 30 minutes and just sit with yourself. Just sit with yourself. Even if you're not sitting in front of your altar or whatever, those I do have an altar. If you don't believe in an altar, even if you're just walking around the house and you at the window drinking a cup of coffee, just sit there and practice some form of mindfulness to yourself. I promise you, your day will feel a whole lot better.
The cheat code right here. We have to start slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
Slow down. We have been busy doing nothing. People be rushing to the red light just to stop. It's like, yo, slow down. Start your day off slow.
Yeah.
Let's think for a second here. When have we ever taken moments and days and time just to think for just 10 minutes? Like, what am I going to do today? What do I want out of life? Where do I see a vision for myself? If you never even took time to think for yourself, no wonder why you a follower out here. No wonder why you just going unconsciously following these social norms, just thinking that's what I'm supposed to do because everybody doing it. You never thought for yourself.
Right, and you have to take time because how can you help yourself out, and how are you going to help anybody? Because a lot of us we worry about the economy. If you're going to do any of those things, if you don't even know what your passions are, and then you don't even know how to overcome some of your own personal challenges, you got to take time every day to sit down to yourself. And it's not gonna come over. Answer's not gonna come overnight. Because, like I said last episode, I'm just being honest and real. It hadn't worked that way for me. And I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff for a long time, but I'm still doing things. So you still got to be working towards something. And then as you're working towards that, you never know what the universe is going to send you. It could send you the thing that you've been looking for this whole time.
And you gotta, once you get that, you still gotta continue to work for more, more for yourself. It's an everlasting process. Mm-hmm. This is a full-time job of working on yourself.
Right. So as we wind down on this first episode, what you want people to take away from it?
What I would want you guys to take away from this episode today is about not just selling ourselves so cheap in the system and capitalism and society and life and relationships and opportunities. The
That $10 million
foundation.
do it for you though.
You said what?
No, go ahead. I said that $10 million do it for you though.
We will all have a price. See, me personally, I'm standing on this right now. I can't be bought right now. Like, it's just like, I just can't be bought. I'm not willing to compromise my integrity, my values for some dollar bills, because once I get the dollar bills, I got to pay a few bills and it's just all gone. And then now I don't have my self worth. Now I'm questioning myself. Now I can't sleep at night. The biggest flex is being able to sleep at night. That's a peace of mind right here. So be at peace within your decisions that you make. Be conscious of every move that you're making, because what you're doing today is just going to be a ripple effect of your future and the longevity of your lifestyle that you're creating for yourself.
I agree with that to a degree.
I know we all different though. Get your money. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and I know people say, you selling your soul to the devil. I don't think it's the devil. I don't think it's the devil.
What is it?
Because I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, I don't think it's you selling your soul. It's like, because we all make sacrifices for the things we want.
Absolutely.
And so when it comes to that, you'll make a sacrifice when it comes to seeking higher education because you think that education can get you a better job. Or you spending extra hours at work because it's making it look like you're a team player. So you'll hope that the higher management, everybody else get to see that, and it'll cause you to move up. Or you working all these extra hours for your own personal business because you think you got to get all this stuff in to get on. So we all make sacrifices for things that we want. That's why I'm like, I can't say that it's the devil.
Oh yeah, as long as you're making a sacrifice, we cannot be self-sacrificing, and that's what we do. Yeah. And that is making us feel like we're energetically cheating on ourselves, and that's why we feel like we get cheated on in these situations and opportunities, because we give too much. Like, hey, you don't gotta give yourself, you don't gotta give all to anything or anyone.
Right. That's why I'm like, that's why I get in that last episode I was talking about. What are you willing to risk it all for? I think we all risking something almost every day, or it's something that we're trying to attain. We're always at risk of something. So to me, it's no matter what, if the good outweighs the bad of what you of what you did, Facts. Then as long as it's good to you, why do you care what other people are thinking?
Seriously.
So in the aspect of me talking about like Black China or anybody else that does something in the adult industry, if your outcome was, matter of fact, I use a different story. I heard this one guy. I knew him from a friend of a friend. I didn't know him personally, but I heard a story about what he did. He sold some drugs. He wanted to start a business. Black guy. He couldn't get money from banks or whatever. And so he ended up selling, he got into the drug game. He sold drugs to get to a place to where he could start his own restaurant. He got to and this, the end justified it. I didn't agree with it, but I'm like, people take drugs anyway. So he sold those drugs, got the money he needed for the cost of the restaurant, to buy it outright, and to have enough working income for 2 years. And he got out. And his restaurant was doing his restaurant apparently was doing good. He opened like 2 or 3 more locations.
That was like Nelson Mandela. I mean, they not the same, but like Nelson Mandela had to go to jail for
so I'm like,
a higher good.
Yeah, so I mean, people wouldn't agree with what he did, and they'll say, "Oh, well, it's bad." But I'm like, when you go to your doctor's offices and they prescribe you drugs, somebody making money off of that.
Okay, everything
it's all the same thing. So the end, what he did to do it morally, you would say is wrong, because I would agree it is wrong too. But at the end of the day, he did it to help himself out.
Good for him.
So when people say that, now I'm not gonna get on you talking about, I can't be. I'm like, but especially when I said the $10 million, I'm like, okay, it's terrible. It is terrible, but I know what it'll do for me. And so I know for me, like I said before, if I went through trauma and I didn't get paid from it, if I had to suffer one more night of trauma to help boost my lifestyle and help boost my family's life for one night, would I do it? I'll sacrifice it. I mean, I would, but that's me making that decision for myself. It's not me allowing somebody else to make it for me.
Exactly. And I think we are scared to make certain decisions for money or for certain things because we think it's like a heaven and a hell. When you're honestly in hell right now, like you're honestly in hell right now. But if you don't have heaven in your mindset, now you're gonna actually explode. Now you're like you're not aware that you're in hell, but you're reacting. You're on autopilot. But it's all in the perspective. Like,
Right. Because, I mean, you know, even when it comes to, like, I got into it, I talked about my mom last time, but I get into it with a lot of church people. Not anymore, but I used to. I'm like, everybody does sin.
yeah,
I don't care how you define it. It's just what you believe to be your
right or wrong.
Yeah. So you measure people by your own personal moral values, but your moral values I may not value the same thing that you value. So my thing at the end of the day is stop judging people and let the universe, that God is, whoever you believe in, let them be the judge. The only thing you do is just love. And I know we've been winding down, but I just had to get it out.
No, that's true. Because Goddess Mahat, she's the goddess of judgment. And she's going to weigh our heart. If it's not as light as a feather, then that is repercussions on your end. It's about your heart, how you choosing to live.
Right. And that's what I'm like, you know, that's why I said we need to get to a place to where, especially when it comes morally, stop measuring people by our own moral beliefs. Because I think morally, I think we all should just love each other.
Yes. I don't care about your sexuality. Yeah. I don't care about your gender. Yeah, I don't care about who you believe in, who you repping. Honestly, if we all can just be on that team God and team love, then we can be on the same team.
I want to end it as I say, you know, love life for what it is, because tomorrow's never promised. And whatever you sacrificing it for, make sure it's for something good and not something selfish. Like, even with me, it's no matter what I sacrifice, I'm always not looking at it for myself. I'm always giving back to other people, because, you know, I cut my time down, but I still think that we should all be giving of ourselves to others.
That's so sweet. See, I'm gonna do.
How can you be? No, if
I'm gonna get some money, I'm gonna do it for myself.
Well, I mean, now if I made that sacrifice,
that's so nice of you to do it for other people. See,
well, I'm thinking about, because we talked about legacy last time.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about my legacy. So if I would rather take the sacrifice now than my kids have to take a sacrifice. That's me. And that's because, I mean, I think any parent should be there. Or if I didn't have any kids, or if it was one of my best friends, and if I've already been through a lot already, and I'm trying to keep them from having to go through something that I've gone through, I would, if it came something monetarily, as long as it wasn't nothing extended. Like, I'm not talking about something for an extended amount of time. I would do something, not terrible, I ain't taking nobody's life, but I would do something for the sake of helping myself and helping the other individual.
God bless your soul. They better have that same energy for you too.
We talked about it last time. But you got to know who you doing it for.
It has to be bigger than you. I agree.
So thank you again, Tera, for coming back on this 5-part series. So thank y'all for tuning in and listening to my last part of the rant, because she had her closing thing. So yeah, you can find me in this episode on pggtv.online. Live, love, laugh every day, and make sure you lead with your heart and love with your heart, and let that guide you through all that you do. So thank you all again for tuning in. Until the next episode, Matrix out.